Weather Impact Show. Meteorologist Chris Tomer. We're looking at another warm afternoon here with temperatures in the 60s, approaching 70 degrees. And it does look like, just looking at radar, we've got a couple of spotty showers around the area. Maybe a rumble of thunder. This isn't going to be a major event moving through here, but let's go right to radar and take a look at it right now if we can. And again, the green is going to be your probability of maybe seeing a sprinkle or a shower there. Let me just kind of zoom out here and you can see the wider view. Really, it looks like most of the energy with this is to the east and to the northeast of us, up around Cleveland and Erie and to Pittsburgh. And we're kind of just maybe on the other, sort of the western periphery, but again, maybe a sprinkle this afternoon. The view outside right now, we've got cloudy skies. Every once in a while, you might have a break of sun, but it is pretty cloudy right now across Columbus. Now, looking ahead, the temperatures continue to warm through the weekend, and we could get near a record high temperature. We're forecasting, and this hasn't changed, 80 degrees this Sunday. Out ahead of a storm system and just a warm pattern overall. The record on Sunday is 85 degrees set back in 2012, so we'll get pretty close. You can see the temperature forecast here over the next 5 days. Saturday, middle 60s. Sunday is the day, 80. The normal high, if you're curious, for this time of the year is 53 degrees, so we're well above that. Now, behind that storm, that cold front, we're in the 40s on Monday and then 50s on Tuesday, 50s on Wednesday. So let's talk a little bit about the pattern right now. We've got this massive ridge of high pressure dominating a lot of the west with record heat. Every once in a while, we'll get a little piece of that may break off and help us to warm up here. But we are definitely in this storm track, which are these arrows moving. So whatever's upstream gets pulled down towards Ohio. And every once in a while, we're going to get a clipper that comes through. That's what's producing that rain shower chance right now this afternoon, is that these little waves just kind of ride that flow in. And it is warm. It's even warmer today right now than it was yesterday at this point. The 24-hour temp change, we're 5 to 10, maybe even a little bit warmer than yesterday at this time. Here are the current temperatures, and we're not done warming for the day. We could still go up another few degrees. 65 at John Glenn right now. A lot of 60s across central Ohio, nearly 70 right now in the southern counties. So yeah, we could still warm another few degrees. Looking at the next 12 hours, this actually pushes us up to 67, 68 degrees through the evening rush hour. And this doesn't even have a chance of rain in it. I mean, maybe a sprinkle, and then we start to fall tonight, but another mild night with some 40s for overnight lows, and it will be totally dry into Saturday morning. All right, let me show you the precip chances here over the next 7 days. So Saturday is totally dry. In fact, I think Saturday is really a nice day. Hopefully you can get outside and do something outside tomorrow. Now on Sunday, it's a 40% chance of rain, maybe even a thunderstorm, but it's going to happen late in the day, probably after 6 p.m., somewhere between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. as it looks right now. That'd be the window. And then Monday, it's drier. Tuesday is drier. Wednesday, Thursday, no chances of rain there. But once we get into Friday, then that chance of rain does start to go up to about 60%. So here's your forecast radar. This is the hour by hour. So any rain chances go away through tonight. Saturday morning, it looks like we start out with some overcast. Then the skies will gradually clear. Right there, you can see the sunshine coming out by the time we get to probably midday into the afternoon on Saturday. So if you have plans on Saturday, it's totally dry all day long, but more sun as you kind of progress through the day, midday into the afternoon. Now, Sunday morning starts out dry with lots of sunshine and a pretty good southwesterly wind. And then by the time we get into the afternoon hours, it's still dry. This is 5 p.m. Once we get into that, I think 6 p.m. to maybe 11 p.m. time frame, then we're going to watch this line of storms right here with a front that's coming down from the north. This is 11 p.m. and notice these colors. You've got some oranges, some yellows here. These could be some strong thunderstorms pretty late in the day. I think this is a little bit slow. These might already be through by 10, 11 o'clock. We'll see. And right now, this doesn't look like it's going to be major, but then it will come through, and then we're dry by Monday morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. So tonight, our forecast is partly cloudy, down to 44 for the overnight low. And then tomorrow, Saturday, a lot of sunshine, 65. Oh, by the way, today is the first day of spring, so tomorrow will be the first full day of spring, and it looks good, sunny and 65. Here is our 10 Weather Impact 7-day forecast. So 65 tomorrow, all the way up to 80 on Sunday, with the thunderstorm chance very late in the day. Now behind that, it is going to be colder on Monday at 46 and likely going to be breezy as well. Some of the wind gusts on Monday could run 15, 20, 25, maybe 30 miles per hour at times. And then on Tuesday, it may also be breezy in that forecast. And then it looks like we're probably going to stay dry until the end of that week. All right, so moving on from the forecast this afternoon, AEP Ohio is warning about a scam going around following last weekend's windstorms. So AEP says some customers are reporting that they're getting emails impersonating AEP and offering service interruption credits. So if you get a message like that, don't click on any of the links in there. Report it to AEP or just ignore it, and you can report to them by calling the number on your screen or sending an email directly or a direct message on social media. If your property did sustain any damage from last Friday's windstorm and you're looking to hire someone to help with repairs, make sure to do so safely. The Better Business Bureau, the BBB, warns that you should do your homework first, of course. Red flags include contractors or companies that are offering free roof inspections, and then they pressure you to secure a deal right then and there with vague answers about where the business is based. So a lot of these companies, they come in overnight after these like windstorms or even large hailstorms, and they just show up out of nowhere. That's one thing that you're trying to sort of root out at the start of this. So your best bet is to make sure you take your time and you get multiple estimates. Also happening today, good news for those who are sick of winter. Spring officially just started today, as of now officially. The vernal equinox, or the first day of spring, is determined by where the Earth sits, that tilts in its orbit around the sun. So on this day, the Earth's axis is not tilted toward or away from the sun, causing roughly an equal amount of daylight and dark hours at pretty much all latitudes. Now, NASA notes that on the day of an equinox, observers at the equator will see the sun directly overhead at noon. The word equinox originates from Latin and translates into equal night, equal day, equal night. That's what it means. So spring may have just sprung, but the Southwest is already feeling like summer. We know, we've probably heard about all this record-breaking heat across the West. I mentioned that massive ridge of high pressure out there over parts of the West. Well, the extreme weather has shattered temperature records in dozens of cities. I was looking at this yesterday. Palm Springs, for instance, 108. That's way ahead of where you should be in the triple digits for this time of the year. Phoenix is under its earliest extreme heat warning on record, with temperatures in the triple digits in Phoenix. Even a normally mild Redwood City, California, has had back-to-back days of history-making temperatures.
It's really been hell, and the only reason why it's been hell because we didn't have time to prepare for this hot weather.
As long as you're in the shade, you are inside your home, you're fine.
And it's not over yet. Forecasters say conditions in the Southwest will only intensify in some locations into the weekend and then spread across the plains. So with all the warm weather, it's no surprise that ski season, this is another kind of sad story for sure, is coming to an end as well. A lot of areas out west, they're closing early. In fact, there were a bunch of resorts that called it yesterday. There were a number of big resorts. In fact, some of the resorts in California, they only had like a 3-month season. That was it. The winter was late in coming and it was early in leaving. I mean, some places around Tahoe, they called it. Here is Connor McGill with more.
Mountains that were once covered in snow just a few short weeks ago now sit fairly bare, and because of that, some Sierra ski resorts are having to cut their seasons short. Skiers and snowboarders carving through what snow is left. Visitors say the change has been hard to miss.
You come one day and it's like so much snow, and then you come the next day and it's all gone, and then you're like, where did it all go?
This isn't what March typically looks like in the Sierra. After a powerful February storm dumped more than 9 feet of snow in just 5 days, one of the snowiest stretches in over 40 years, much of it has already melted away. Resorts now forced to adapt quickly, some scaling back, others closing altogether. Homewood Mountain Resort has already called it a season, and Sierra at Tahoe is set to close this Sunday.
We've had less, precipitation, less snowfall than we've wanted, and we've also had like a very quick melt off, much more quick than we anticipated as well.
Others like Palisades, Heavenly, Kirkwood, North Star, and Boreal plan to stay open, but with limited operations. Resort leaders say they're having to adapt to a changing climate and more unpredictable conditions.
We understand the realities of the climate right now, and this year we upgraded our snowmaking to an automated system. So anytime the temperature dropped below 32 degrees, like our snowmaking kicked on, and we were able to make a lot more snow than we have in years past.
State water officials are also watching closely, with California's snowpack sitting at just 37% at the April 1st average.
You know, at 37%, that's the same that we had in 1976, the first year of that really extreme drought. So definitely not the snowpack we wanted.
And for many out here, it's about making the most of a shortened season.
Definitely hoping that next time we get next season we get a little bit more powder. Could have used a few more powder days, but again, making the most of what we got.
Sierra Resorts I had the chance to speak with say they are taking things just day by day as the Sierra snowpack continues to shrink by 1% each day.
All right, well, on to some out-of-this-world news. In Northeast Ohio, a meteorite, well, we know all about the meteorite, but meteorite hunters are searching for fragments from that meteor that lit up the sky on Tuesday morning. We're talking, of course, about this video. It shows what NASA has confirmed to be a 7-ton meteor soaring across the sky. NASA says the meteor sailed 45,000 miles per hour. Amazing across the Northeast before those fragments fell to the ground. And here's what those fragments actually look like. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources say finding one is not common, making it significant for scientists, collectors, and enthusiasts, which is clear given this week's meteor has sparked a real-life treasure hunt to try to find pieces of this. All right, well, sticking with the space theme, NASA is rolling out their rocket. They're rolling it back out to the launch pad at the end of the week. NASA rolled out the Artemis 2 moon rocket to the launch pad after it underwent repairs in the vehicle assembly building. The entire journey to the pad took approximately 12 hours because it goes very, very slowly. The launch window for the mission will open again as we head into April. And from out of this world to under the water, students across Wisconsin put their engineering skills to the test at the 8th annual Sea Perch competition last weekend. Pavlina Osta shows us how they built and operated underwater robots.
The future of science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, was put on display at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
For our competition, we built a ROV.
26 teams of students from across the state built an ROV, or remotely operated vehicle.
And then we built a claw that folds in and out for our mission course.
That can perform tasks underwater.
They have to navigate an obstacle course, which is the 5 rings over here, and they go through there for time. Then they have to do the mission course, which is over here where the divers are at. That they have to complete certain tasks to score the most amount of points they can in 8 minutes. That's where the creativity really comes into play, because they have to move things, pick things up, close doors, a lot of different tasks.
And we got a minute 40.
A regional competition that is advancing the top teams to the next round.
First, second, and third place teams move on to the international tournament held in the University of Maryland at College Park, right by DC, and that happens in June, and they get to compete against teams from around the world.
The STEM chairperson says this national program teaches them skills you can't learn from a book.
Perseverance is usually one of the big things, and that's hard to just teach every day in a class. You have to come up with a project that's not so easy for them to do, so that they have to struggle through it and learn troubleshooting, and that's what real-world engineers do. They don't get it right the first time.
And prepares them for their future endeavors.
I plan to go to MIT to do aerospace engineering, and I think here I learn lots of working together as a team, which I'll do in engineering, in any engineering field. And I also learn a lot of prototyping and the engineering design process, which I'll do later on.
Very cool. Finally today, let's check out some new video into us here at 10 TV. So earlier today, as we mentioned, it was the spring equinox. And to mark the occasion, you may want to check out Columbus blooms at the Franklin Park Conservatory. So just look at these gorgeous flowers there. Let's see, yeah, those are looking really good. There's nearly 150,000 tulips, daffodils, and pansies throughout the gardens, plus signature blooms like magnolias, lilacs, flowering cherries. You can see all the colors of the rainbow and soak in the scent of spring right now. And the conservatory says many spring bulbs will reach their peak in April, so just around the corner. And sticking with the springtime theme here, Washington's cherry trees at the tidal basin are beginning to show early. Some signs of bloom marking the approach of spring. At a site long associated with the Japan-U.S. friendship, the blossoms trace their origins to a 1912 gift from Japan of roughly 3,020 cherry trees, which were then planted around the tidal basins, the East Potomac Park and the Potomac River waterfront, becoming one of the U.S. capital's most enduring symbols of diplomatic ties. Japan is also expected to present 250 cherry trees to coincide with the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States, helping replace trees removed during a recently completed tidal basin renovation project. Well, that's going to do it for this 10 Weather Impact Show this afternoon. Again, maybe a sprinkle out here and just a couple of very warm days ahead, including a near record high on Sunday. I'll be taking a look at that and a thunderstorm risk for Sunday afternoon, Sunday night as well. We'll have that all the way through the course of this evening right here on 10 TV.